What's up, everybody? Happy Victory Monday. For those of you whose teams won yesterday, guys, I got some news for you. Just in case you didn't know, the Bears still suck. They do. I'm going to be completely insufferable tonight. I'm sorry, not sorry. Colby, how does it feel to be part of the fan base that took down Vecna and the Chiefs?
Great. I still think Nick Caley sucks as an offensive coordinator, but the Houston Texans defense is phenomenal. So I am ecstatic, and shout out Nate Markham, Chiefs fan here, the resident one. It was a good run at the top. Not saying they're completely dead overall, but I do think for this year they got a massively uphill battle to climb. But for all intents and purposes, yes, Houston was. Last night, Houston emerged. You say the one who took down Vecna. The other one I saw on X was a picture of Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones, known as the Kingslayer.
Yes, yes. Who would be the Kingslayer from the Texans? Like, because God bless him, it's not C.J. Stroud. So who else? Who would it be?
Who would be the Kingslayer? Who would be Jaime Lannister?
Jalen Petrie for slaying Rashee Rice in that hit we saw last night that's been viral all day long. Have you seen that? Have you guys seen that?
It could be Petrie. I think the first kind of now I think it would be Alshire.
Yeah.
I think it would be Aziz.
Yeah.
Will Anderson's the tone setter, but I don't know. I don't think it's him. I think it's gonna be Agent Zero. I think it's Aziz.
I love it. Last night, America looked to Houston to save us from the Chiefs, and they came through, and I could not be happy.
It was so impressive. Houston beat the Kansas City Chiefs and their own offensive coordinator, so it was very impressive to beat all of those people all at the same time.
See, even in victory, you just can't embrace all the positivity. You just
never satisfied, Jorge. Always want more. Never satisfied. Always want more. There's aspirations here. Plus, your team keeps losing. Make Houston's second round pick look better. We're doing our part. You do your part there, Jorge. Help Texans out. Help out the team. Help out the Kingslayers.
Help out the Kingslayers.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Angie? Coming to hang out with us. Newest Idaho resident. Idahoan? Is that the proper term? I don't know. Angie, let us know.
Well, it's better than Idaho because that would just be totally insulting. So, yeah, Idahoan.
I don't know. I mean, I heard we're bringing back calling people hoes. So.
Are we really? Okay. Well.
Yeah. Oh, you got a fan?
Whoa.
What's up, Jamie? What's going on? I like how he's like, say there's sexy Jorge and hi, Stacy.
We can end the stream. Let's just end the stream now. Just end it on that. Clip that and end it.
Yeah, only one sexy person here, and it's sexy Jorge, apparently, according to Jamie.
Oh my gosh!
Because you have the overalls on. You can't be that without the overalls.
Oh man, I forgot to put the overalls on. I keep forgetting this time of year. I got to put them on.
Who is the lineman that there's that clip of him on the internet just showing up to like a game wearing overalls?
Vince Wilfork, former Houston great.
Yes,
and Patriot legend. Yeah.
No one remembers that.
That kind of Super Bowls kind of help with that, but yes.
Oh, a former Patriot went to Houston. You don't say. At least that
with Bill O'Brien as the head coach.
Another one. DJ
How long has that been going? How long can we trace that back to? How far?
Oh gosh, you want to keep naming players? We can do it. Shaq Mason from New England to Houston. Nick Caserio from New England to Houston. Oh my gosh, Davis Mills was drafted to come to Houston because of the New England system. I mean, we can keep going. He didn't play in New England, but yeah, we can keep going though.
Man, hi Charlene. Charlene will be back with us next week. Jamie wants to know: are we picking up Phillip Rivers? Jamie, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. We can't give everything away.
Yeah.
On this show, we just a little teaser. We'll talk about him.
I mean, it's only the most important topic of conversation that we have to have on the Week 15 Waiver Wire Party.
Obviously. We were waiting for this news to break all day.
Exactly. I mean, we knew it was coming. We just didn't know when it was coming.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly who I've been like wanting to talk about for months and just waiting for an opportunity. And now we have it. Guys, get us your waiver questions. It is going into Week 14. So hopefully you made the playoffs in your league. want to help you make sure that you dominate. So get those questions on, and we will get to them as they roll in. We will update you on these Monday Night Football scores. Spoiler alert, Omarion Hampton. I hope y'all started him, Jake, because he already got in the end zone. Love that. Love that so much. Jamie's going to go pick up Peyton Manning. I don't think he's available,
Okay.
but he's not a grandpa, unlike Phillip Rivers.
Did you know on Sleeper, Ben Roethlisberger is still a player you could pick up as a free agent?
I did not know that. I thought he was
Well-
just causing problems on like Pittsburgh podcast or
Yeah, well, besides that, so. And can you imagine if like there's somebody out there who they have a winning roster and they got their roster all set and they like clear out their entire bench and they go back to the free agents and pick up every single legendary player, so you can go on and say, I won a championship with Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, insert name, just, was on my championship team.
that would be something. That would definitely be something.
Something horrible. Horribly horrible.
100% horrible. Jamie has got, let's see, locked in 24 of 29 dynasty playoffs. Holy cow. Good for you, Jamie. Good for you. That's awesome. All right, guys. So we got some things to talk about tonight, right? Jorge, you want to take us through our fallout from yesterday?
Yeah, no, just wow. Spoiler alert, I'll be talking about him later, but like Shedeur Sanders, come on down. Just had a career day yesterday. Yes, I get it. It was against the Titans, but just unreal. We were alluding to it, the defeat of the Kansas City Chiefs by the Houston Texans. But I got to be honest with you, the game of the week, your Packers versus the Bears, that I was glued to the TV every single running play in the fourth quarter. Like I wasn't, let alone every single play period, but like every single like running play by the Bears was just so important, and each little yard was amplified by the sheer importance of who's going to win this game. And like I don't know, I haven't been excited. That was the first time all season long I've been like, that had playoff vibes. That had definite playoff vibes there. So that was a fun game.
That was a great game, right? That wasn't a fun game. That was a great game. I loved it. I loved every part of it. It was,
even if the Bears would have won too, that still would have been a hell of a game.
No, I don't know that it would really hit the same. Honestly, I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Would have been as cool. I spent a lot of time between yesterday, Saturday, Sunday, and today, like watching a lot of like Bears, Packers hype videos, and then like watching a lot of really nice like memes today, just making fun of the Bears, and it brought me so much joy.
You should have like a Bears T-shirt or a T-shirt that says like "I hate Bears" or "I'm hunting for Bears" or something.
I should have something. I should get something like that. I don't want to get too cocky. Maybe we do play them in 2 weeks. But
if you what did they say on Chappelle's Show? If you got hate in your heart, let it out. So
I'm like 50 Cent level of petty right now. That's where I'm living at. Right
oh my God! So I'm sorry to give you we're already going to do a little segue, but I was saying on the pregame show yesterday that there was we were trying to find something nice to say about a player, and I forget which player it was, and it reminded me of Colbert on the Late Show having 50 Cent, and like he told 50 Cent, okay, you have to say 5 things, you got to say them no matter what they are, and the last thing he said, you have to say something nice about Ja Rule. Yes. And then he's like, well, he's alive. So
yeah. 50 Cent, listen, I strive to be that level of petty. Like I love it, man. I can't wait to watch the documentary.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Wait.
Is it just me? Like, but you think about In the Club, or you think about all those like big hits from the 2000s, and I'm like, that's so old. I'm like, I listened to that in the car on the way to work. Like it's like on my regular. Are we old? All of us on the screen? Okay, good.
No, old. No, stop that. Jorge,
no, not me.
No.
Colby's like, not me. Screw the rest of you two. No, not me.
No.
Yeah, not me.
No. Absolutely not.
Young at heart, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious for the people in the chat, like, what are your thoughts on yesterday? Is there any game or play or something that stood out that you all want us to talk about on air? Jamie said, if you don't mind, I'll pull this up right here. And I love where this is going. He says, I was at the Browns game sitting on the 50-yard line. Cool. I'm not a fan of Shitter Sanders. Okay, but I enjoyed watching him, and I was highly impressed. Okay, well, okay, fair enough.
It was Tennessee, too. But he did look good.
Keep that in mind.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, had he struggled against Tennessee, then people would be like, all over him, right? So
yeah, but I mean, like right there, what I just did, even though I did it in jest, was a perfect example of this. Like, no matter what he does, it's not either going to be good enough or he's going to suck. It's either it'll never be. Well, it'll only be about him if he sucks. If he's good, it'll be it was Tennessee. It was like when Houston played Baltimore and literally every player and their backup was out. That's what it's always going to be like for him, which is pretty unfair. But now he's the starting quarterback the rest of the way. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I feel bad that like last week all we did was trash the Titans when Kyle was here, and now he's not here to celebrate his win.
Okay, but at the same point, it was the
Fair.
And there's got to be a part of Kyle that's not rooting for them to win.
No, that's true. This is true.
And number one pick's at stake. Like, I don't know if they're going to draft probably not going to draft a quarterback in this class, but I mean, let them. If Kyle's happy for the win, go for it. Maybe he'll get lucky, like the time when Houston won that game when they didn't need to. They got the second pick, and it seemed to work out pretty okay. So maybe that's what Kyle's hoping for. But take a victory Sunday or victory Monday whenever you can get it.
So I just want to say that you all last week, as I was in the chat actively, because you all were hilarious, as you are every week. You all were Aiden's puberty last week. Like, literally, he was a boy before walking into this show, being a guest on the show. And I don't know what he walked out of, but he's not a boy anymore, because in the Fourth and Frames chat we have in our Discord, wow. Just wow. What's
the 30 seconds of what happened last week?
The 30 second. Go back. Oh, you need to watch did I not send you the clip I made for or did I just send that to Stacy?
I think you just sent it to me.
Okay, I'll put that in the chat. Yeah.
What did you guys do to the poor kid?
What did you guys do to the poor kid? Like, literally, he's like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize that this."
I mean, we were just slightly unhinged last week, just a little bit, but not. I mean, nothing crazy.
Oh,
yeah, but
Aiden is young, so
like, what's your No, I'm not gonna say it that way. What's the level of what's your level of slightly unhinged to? Like, is that like extra unhinged for like?
Oh no, I thought it was perfectly normal. Everything I heard was just fantastic. I loved it, which is why I just I kept bringing it up. But I'm just saying, for Aiden, for somebody who's like pure of heart, to then all of a sudden be like calling out Nate Markham yesterday and like talking trash about the game, or just like throwing curse words here and there. We're like, whoa, Aiden, what's easy there, buddy? What's going on there? And I just blame you. So. But I also thank you at the same time. So
you gotta grow up sometime.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get us canceled, so there's that.
That's good. That's always a positive. Walking away not canceled is a good thing. Right. Nate was wearing a Raiders visor yesterday, and everybody was calling him John Gruden, and I was just like, is that
wait? More people than just me was?
Yeah.
Were?
Yeah.
Where I need to go back and look at that.
I got you right there. That's the exact. Yeah, that's what I sent. That's what I sent to Jorge.
Yeah.
He had the Raiders visor. He got the little.
Yeah.
He got the little tips going.
Going. I was like, I don't know how we should take that, but
he didn't take too kindly to when I sent it to him, but it's fine. I know we were enemies yesterday, and I haven't heard from him yet today.
So Jamie, just first of all, love Jamie. He says, I could be unhinged, the most unhinged lately. I just asked Corey to late night. This is true. And Jamie, I'm surprised if he's not commenting at this while he's in a strip club somewhere in Ohio. That's his shtick. He likes going to strip clubs. They have great buffets apparently, and he likes going on his phone and talking fantasy football while he's at a strip club. So, wherever you watch, I guess feel most comfortable watching fantasy football content. Hey, more power to you.
I don't know what to say to that.
There's not much you can't say, Stacy. You just got to nod and be like, "Thanks for tuning in."
I see what you did there. That was a nice little tie back to the 50 Cent reference in the club.
like
that was your whole tie back. That was a nice tie back. Well done.
Yeah, I'll take credit
done.
for that, even though I had zero intention of tying that back. But I'll take the credit for that one. Thank you, Colby.
I like it. I don't know anything about too much, but I hear that we have some pretty good ones here in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
We're actually like known for our strip clubs in Tampa. So come on down, Jamie. Come on down and visit. You can watch our show while in a Tampa strip club.
Nice.
We need to get back on track.
The one and last time Stacy invites me back on the show, it's
severely off track now. See, if Aiden was here, you'd have to explain what a strip club is.
His virgin ears, I don't think he could handle it listening to those two words.
He could not handle it. Jamie posted here, I have to stop. Instead of tipping the lazy tips will come in forms of fantasy advice. I was going to say it would depend on how well you did on your DFS picks the day before.
Yeah, we like to stress fantasy football advice, not just fantasy advice. So,
oh my gosh, Colby, do you have a stud or dud? Let's just segue.
Yeah, luckily I do. I'm gonna go with apparently Tampa strip clubs. I guess with the stud of the week forever. I guess.
Here we go.
Do you get that section sponsored? Do you think by like a strip club? Do you think because there's like a hockey team down here that's sponsored by a strip club?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like some minor league hockey team is like sponsored by a strip club, and like they had one night where like all the players wore like stripper names on the back of their jerseys.
Chastity going to center ice.
Yeah.
It's anybody named Chastity out there. Just it's the first one.
You are absolutely right. Tampa Rain, a Florida-based hockey team, is partnered with Rain Ladies and Gentlemen's Club in a bold and playful sponsorship. There you go.
Yeah, missed opportunity, right? If they're called the Tampa, and then you don't
I mean, if it's a classy strip club, like I feel like that would be okay, right? But to be honest with you, at this point, wouldn't any sponsor be?
So what happened? Was it a goal scored by Diamond, assisted by? I don't even know any other names. That's like the generic one that comes out. I
feel like I'm going to offend somebody if I say names that I think are stripper names. So
that's true. That's true. You might, but I'll tell you one that's not a stripper name, and that's Emeka Egbuka. He's my dud of the week.
I'm
going to go to him.
About that?
Look at that professional segue there.
I guess there could be. He's been bad now, not only this week, but the past couple weeks as well. That hot start to the season almost seems like a mirage at this point. Coming out of the team's bye in week 9, he had 23 points, and he's been under 10 in 4 straight. So he's my dud of the week, and then stud, because that's what you asked first, and I jumped right to the stud because I've had a better feeling there was no stripper named Emeka versus Dak Prescott, who's my stud. My stud of the week. He just continues to be good. 20 plus in 4 straight. He's sitting at QB5 on the year, assuming that Jalen Hurts stays ahead of him here in fantasy points per game. But he was good yet again, and despite tough matchups, he just continues to get it done. So stud of the week is Dak Prescott, and the dud is Emeka Egbuka.
Yes. Mine is my stud today. I actually have 2 of them. Is going to be one, first off, number 25 specifically from the Packers defense. That is going to be Keyshawn Nixon for getting that interception at the end of the game to win the game from Cole Kmet of all people. Shout out Jim Bednar, famous loves Cole Kmet famously. Just bringing that full circle. But yeah, I mean, Packers defense looked great. They had a little dust up in the beginning of the game. I'll get to that later when I talk about Luther Burden. But yeah, just put it on the Bears, came away with the win. Love to see that. Also, stud of the week is going to be one Michael Wilson, who I cannot thank enough, because Michael Wilson, with your 37.2 fantasy points, your 142 receiving yards, 11 receptions, and not 1, but 2 receiving touchdowns, you helped propel one of my teams to victory in a high stakes league where now we're going to win a lot of money. So I thank you, Michael Wilson. Appreciate you very much. And shout out Christian Watson for contributing to the effort on that too. Those are my 2 studs, selfishly. My dud, I feel bad for saying this, but like, what else can you do? Dude, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns did JJ McCarthy throw against your team yesterday?
Okay, we're going to segue that into how many were to Justin Jefferson, and the answer is 0. So
the answer is 0. The answer is 0. There were several touchdowns thrown by one JJ McCarthy, which is a surprise, honestly, and yet none of them were to our boy Justin Jefferson, and that is unacceptable, and it really just breaks my heart for all of us that took Justin. It hurts me for Justin Jefferson too. Like, this has got to be such a frustrating season for him. Good for him for not talking about it in the media and kind of being negative, because a lot of players I'm sure would be. Over the last 3 games he hasn't even eclipsed 10 fantasy points. Yikes, that's terrible. So I feel bad calling him a dud, because this is not his fault. But
I mean, who knew that the resurrection of Jesus, aka JJ McCarthy, would take place versus the Washington Commanders yesterday? But it did, and holy F, that was crazy. Can I give you my stud and dud, because this has been I've been waiting for this all day. So my stud is RJ Harvey. This guy keeps killing it for me in all my fantasy teams where I drafted him. And you saw yesterday another 20-point performance for fantasy. And everyone in the offseason was talking about, this guy he just needs the opportunity. And then for a lot of the season, he wasn't getting the opportunity because of J.K. Dobbins. Well, now we're seeing what he's getting. And most importantly, as we get into these colder weeks, the narrative, the teams tend to run the ball more. They tend to go for it, running the ball when they're close to the end zone. Well, RJ Harvey is one of these running backs that's one of the elites in terms of being able to get enough rushing attempts within the 5-yard line, within the 10-yard line. So he's somebody that they lean on when they're in scoring position, they meaning the Denver Broncos. And my dud is the personification of why I hate PPR scoring. Okay, give me good old standard, give me non-PPR, love it. You get the points that you earn on the field. This player got 0.60 points with -4 yards receiving, yet his one reception got him positive points. DJ Moore. I hate PPR with a passion. Just disdain. Is that a hot take? Is that people just
that you prefer boring old standard scoring?
Yes.
That's Jorge. Boo.
Yeah, it's real old. Never mind, I'm not gonna say
it. It's boomer. I'll say it. That's boomer talk. Talking about calling people old right there.
I was gonna say old, but yeah, that's Stacy's more up to with it. She's more hip than I.
It's because I'm on TikTok.
She probably knows what 6'7" means, and I'll find out about that in 3 weeks on Instagram Reels. So
I don't know what that means.
I want to give Stacy credit because I too, frequent the TikTok and Instagram, or the gram, as the kids say. The gram, do they even call it the gram? I don't even know anymore. But she is on point, or on fleek, as they used to say back in 2015, which is, wow, that's 10 years ago. Now that I just said that out loud. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, where I'm going with this is she is on point with the latest clips and the little, Gridiron Heights and everything, and every other clip you could possibly have. And so, yeah, she's with it. She's with the generation.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to keep up with them kids. I do. Who doesn't love Gridiron Heights, though? I mean, they're so good, and they're so funny. They're so on top of it.
No
Jamie's on my good side over here. I'll Venmo you for that later, Jamie. It's all the Botox.
Charlene's that's a wrong take. What for the non-PPR love? She knows that. Whatever. I stand by what I said.
I mean, you should get points for catching the ball. You should.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Exactly.
But when you get negative yards, I feel like you should only get a point for catching the ball if you get positive yards, not negative.
I don't like negative points in fantasy. I don't care for negative points. I don't like that. But you should get a point for catching the ball. It's a skill not everybody possesses.
I just think every matchup should end in a tie at that point. Let's not have winners and losers. People get too upset. Everyone ties. No one wins. Just everyone gets a participation trophy, and we all have fun.
Oh
6-7.
Oh, 6-7. I don't know. I don't know.
No clue. I just know you go like this.
Yeah.
It just means average. If you got a 60 or a 70, on a 70 is the average one, but that's
okay, Mr. Fleek. I don't think that's correct.
On fleek. Thank you.
Oh,
I mean,
honestly,
Kyle,
God, thank you.
it's too bad Kyle is not here, because wasn't that always like Jeff Fisher's like record was like something like
I think that's when he was with the Rams. I don't know if that was when he was a Titans coach.
Titans? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's Mike Tomlin then this year or every year. You know, like we
Or-
get in with our 8-10 record, our 10-8 record.
You mean future Titans head coach Mike Tomlin? Which I
Future
would
Titans head coach, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That'd be such a steal for the Titans, man. It really would be.
And watch you have success and find some way to make this team or that team just good enough, but not really good, you know?
Not good. Right, Colby? You don't want them. We just want them to be mediocre, right? Because they're in your division. So
Screw Tennessee.
Charlene, what if your daughter's in the car? Does she know what 6-7 means? Can she get on and tell us?
Yeah.
Honestly, she could make us cooler.
Yeah.
Like literally hop on the stream just for that commentary. Just let us know what 6-7 means.
Exactly. Guys, did you guys see the news about Danny Dimes? Unfortunately, is going to be out. That's so heartbreaking. I think. I know, Kobe, you probably don't care because it's the Colts in your division, but
I mean, no, I hate to see the guy get injured. It was I was happy to see the resurrection of his career after everyone wrote him off, and Indy was obviously playing really well. And I think what sucks for him beyond just being out for the season is that he was trying to gut it out with that like partially broken fibula, and then to have something like that happen, it's just kind of like he was trying to gut it out. He was trying to help that team get there and do everything like that. And then I don't know, like financially, like how much this could cost him. Like, so there's like a lot of things like that you definitely feel bad for it. But it'll just be really interesting to see what Indianapolis does now. Cause I think I saw a post, I don't remember exactly how it shook out, whatever the tense is, that they went from the number 1 seed to basically now out of the playoffs in a month and don't have their quarterback now either. Like it's Colts fans are down bad right now, and you got to feel for them, to say the least.
yeah, you definitely do. And I know we're going to mention Phillip Rivers, right? But I could have sworn, and I want to go back and look, but I thought that I saw a note, kind of a little notification. Yeah, here it is, about Riley Leonard, because I put him on our list to talk about, not necessarily as a pickup, but just talk about. And it has about an hour ago, it said he's dealing with what's described as a strained knee ligament that has him week to week uncertain about whether or not he'll be able to play at Seattle. So like they literally have no one.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And their schedule is brutal too. Like you look at it, they go Seahawks, Niners, Jags, and Texans. They have a brutal end with question marks at quarterback. Like they're going to work out Phillip Rivers. Then next will be Matt Ryan. He's going to come out of the booth, and they're going to work to Drew Brees. They're going to try for Tom Brady, but he's an owner, and he just is going to meddle. Pretty soon, we're going to get to a point where Tom Brady has like a vested interest in like 7 different teams. He's playing for 2. He's an owner of 3. He's a consultant for 1 and an advisor for another. And the next thing you know, half the league is going to be like in the Tom Brady sweepstakes somehow.
It's really too bad that they can't go get Jameis.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate that that's not an option for them right now.
Did you see that how Jameis gave like everybody like a pep talk before the Fox Sunday? Like this guy is like the ultimate teammate, whatever he does.
He's so great. Like I wish I could get like maybe once he's retired, he'll go on Cameo and you can just pay him to do like a Monday morning hype video for you or something. I would do that. I would pay for a Jameis hype video for sure.
There will be a bidding war for him. The media networks will have a bidding war for him because they can do you guys remember like Billy on the Street? They can do Jameis just walking around wherever they are that week. Like the networks are going to flock to Jameis to try to get him just to do all that fun stuff. Like he'd be instantly a star on any of those programs.
He would. I mean, like I follow his TikTok account. Like it brings me so much joy. All of his. He did a meme the other day about. Have you guys seen the trend where it's kind of like, sometime in your 20s you're gonna do this or this, you'll have this opportunity and you should definitely do it. And his was sometime in your 20s you're gonna walk into a Publix and you should definitely not take those crab legs.
That's what you need. Like you need that humor with that stuff. Like that's awesome. Good for him.
I mean, it's so good.
That is hilarious.
It is so God. I love Jameis. so much.
I feel like going back to Cameo, being a man of the people, he would probably make it affordable too. He wouldn't charge like $200. Like Scott Hansen,
Yeah.
try to get one for us for Scott Hansen like back in August. Yeah, like was it like $400 for like a couple of, yeah, like I was like, how dare you, sir? How dare you?
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's absolute insanity.
I get the emails from Cameo because I bought a Cameo before. So I get the emails from them. So whenever like someone new comes on there, a lot of times they have it like at a good price. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. When there's a Jameson, I'm gonna order like 8 when it's at like $20 before he like bumps it up to like 150 because he gets flooded with thousands on the first hour that he's on Cameo.
So
who did you do? I have questions. Hang on, Jorge, just a second. Who did you do a cameo of, if you don't mind sharing with us?
Oh, not at all. It was my when I asked my groomsmen to be my groomsmen in my wedding. I had Gata from Lil Dicky's Dave do the cameo to ask them. So I had Gata. Yep.
That's
Shout
fantastic.
out Gata.
that's very sweet.
Jorge, have you ever done a cameo?
I have received a cameo. I have not gotten a cameo for somebody.
From who?
So for my 40th birthday, my wife got a cameo from a bunch of Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders to wish me happy birthday.
That was really nice of her.
I was effing shocked. I was like, I'm not getting in trouble for this. Like, no, I got you. This is it's not like you went out and got the cameo. It's like, no, this is your gift. This is like a part of the celebration. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
Am I allowed to like this?
No, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what the inner monologue was going. I was like, am I happy? Do I act happy? Do I act too happy? Is it not happy enough? Is it a trap? It's like Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. That's a Star Wars reference for those who didn't realize what that was. But
that's fantastic.
Never seen it.
I know Stacy's never seen Star Wars. Have you never? I'm assuming. Yep, that's a no.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've seen the movies, but I couldn't. Yeah, I've been to Star Wars World or Land or whatever it's called at Disney.
Oh, that's actually a lot of fun. That place.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But you haven't seen the movie, so we can't like say that you've been there and you saw the movie. You can't do that.
No, definitely not the same. No.
First of all, Jamie's been on fleek. That's not going away this entire show.
It's a slow night at the strip club, apparently, for Jamie.
No, yeah, but he's also, while he's at the strip club talking fantasy football on, and then being in the chat, he gave us exactly where 6'7" came from, all the way to saying he'll do a cameo for free for us.
Ricky Williams, is he going to be high in the cameo? Because he better be.
I'll just make it more fun.
Well, I mean, he should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the teens say that anymore, Jamie. If I had to guess,
that was 10 years ago, Jamie. I'm sorry.
I don't think they say that.
It was like 2 years ago.
Guys, do you want to? I guess we should probably talk waivers, right? We should probably
Sure.
To QBs. I'm gonna go first. We've got a little banner here that's got our 3 quarterbacks that we're gonna be talking about. Let's see who's got the highest percentage. That's how I'm gonna decide who goes. Well, I'm not gonna talk. I'll just real quick just to mention it. Jacoby Brissett is out there in 53% of leagues according to Sleeper. We have talked him to death. We don't need to go into depth about why you should go pick up Jacoby Brissett, but at 53%, he could still potentially be out there in your league. So if you are maybe streaming QBs for the playoffs, something like that, it's worth taking a look. That's all I'm going to say about that. Jorge, do you want to talk a little bit about your Sanders?
Yeah, let me tell you. So first of all, Sleeper 18%, Yahoo 8, ESPN 7.3. We'd have to be all fancy with the decimals. You go back to the past 3 games played. I'm just going to rattle off some rankings of where he lands in terms of metrics. Quarterback 10 in fantasy points per game. Quarterback 6 in fantasy points per opportunity, where they take into account rushing and passing yardage. Quarterback 7 in deep throws and deep throw percentage. Oh, so he can throw the ball down the field, not just check downs to the tight end. Quarterback 9 in passer rating, quarterback 12 in passing yards per game, quarterback 6 in yards per attempt. Like, let me tell you, if you're the Daniel Jones manager and you're worried about, Riley Leonard, or you're worried about Phillip Rivers, God forbid, and you're like, what do I do at the quarterback position? He's it. I mean, you look at the since week 10, in terms of fantasy points allowed, the Bears have given up the 11th most fantasy points to the quarterback position, who will face in week 15. The Bills present a tougher test in week 16, allowing the 22nd most fantasy points to QBs. But then championship week for many, week 17 against the Steelers, division rival, they give up, since week 10, the 9th most fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. Can you imagine if you're a Browns fan and you're like, screw it, I'm rolling with Shedeur Sanders championship week versus our rival, the Steelers, and that ends up working out for you? Like, the bragging rights you will have over your Steelers friends will be like for life.
It's always a rando that like wins you your playoff matchup. Like right? Like it's very rarely like your first round draft pick or something like that. It's some rando, some Michael Wilson, that we picked up off waivers.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody completely random. Like Cole Beasley won me a championship one year.
Yeah, Blake Bortles won me a championship one year.
You bortled your way to the championship.
He did. I bortled. Yes, it was against the 49ers. There was pure garbage time in the fourth quarter, but I didn't care. Points are points.
Yeah, points are points. Colby, tell me a little bit about Tyler Shuck, who apparently can scoot. He can run.
He's at least trying to. He's using his legs more. I believe it's at least 6+ rushing attempts in 3 straight games. He's currently QB6 for the week. That's assuming Jalen Hurts and or Justin Herbert don't get above him. But at the end, and he was QB11 last week. So he's basically been a QB1 the last 2 weeks here. And I'm looking at his numbers here. And over the last 3 weeks, his 84.6 adjusted completion percentage trails only Bo Nix and Jared Goff amongst the what I'll call the regular starting quarterbacks. And he's got a respectable 7.8 average depth of target as well in that span. And the thing that I really like about Shuck is kind of similar to like what Jorge was saying with Blake Bortles, is that they're going to be playing from behind. There should be some garbage time there, and he'll rack up yards and maybe, get in the end zone once or twice as well. I don't love the touchdown to interception ratio sitting at just 2 to 3, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions here over his last 3, but he's running. He's at least using his legs. He's shown a willingness to do it, and the Saints have no choice but to get a long look at him to kind of see if he can potentially be the guy for, I'll just say, next season and not the next, 10 years, because he's like 33 years old. So just something to keep in mind there. But Shuck's been good. So he's only a deep league ad. Like in your 10-team one quarterback leagues, you're not even considering him. But if you're in like maybe a 12-team super flex, someone I would definitely be taking a look at if you need QB help.
Jorge, that's who's old. It's Tyler Shuck, not us. Tyler Shuck's older.
He's 20. He's 26, by the way, but basically 33 for a rookie.
Yeah.
I really wanted to pay attention to everything you just said, but you have to understand, I can't stand the pronunciation of Tyler Show. I don't care. It's Old English and it's Shuck. Spell Shuck like it is. All right, like SHUCK.
Shucks.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So boomer. So boomer.
It is.
Yeah. Wow.
Come on.
Not fleek. Yeah. It's not on fleek. It's off fleek.
It is off. Colby, I forgot to let you do the Monday Night Football check-in. I'm sorry. I skipped you on that and just went straight to quarterback.
There ain't really much to talk about here as I'm looking at. Jalen Hurts just threw an interception. So perfect. Actually, it was a perfect timing. But then they fumbled it. And then Jalen Hurts got it back. But then he fumbled it. And now the Chargers got it. So that was the most exciting thing to happen thus far.
Why didn't you? Okay.
Yeah, come here for live reporting. It's a watch party, right? That's what we talk it up as. But Jalen Hurts, 10 rushing yards, 73 through the air. Barkley's got 8 for 39. Goddard leads the way for Philadelphia with 3 for 38. And then if you were struggling between Hampton or Vidal, you couldn't have made the wrong decision. Hampton 4 for 24 on the ground, but he's got 2 for 11 with a touchdown through the air. And then Kamani Vidal has a 60-yard reception in this game, as well as a 3-yard carry. So there is not much to be happening. That interception turned fumble, turned recovery, turned fumble was the most exciting thing thus far.
That makes me so happy because so I'm jumping a little ahead here and saying that I don't think that the team that we're beating is going to come back, because we're at 165 and they've got 92, but they also have Jalen Hurts going. So I think we're safe, but those fumbles do make me happy. I appreciate that.
Wait, do fumbles, turnovers count? I'm
no,
sorry.
He barely had it. That should only be -2 for Hurts on the interception.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, from an IDP perspective, I don't know if for the 3.5 seconds that guy had the ball, if your IDP folk lose for a fumble. But
this is where IDP constituents get very testy when it comes to like forced fumbles and fumble recoveries, because in a lot of scoring formats that are popular, like let's use Fantasy Pros, for example, a forced fumble and a fumble recovery both count for 4 points. And when you think about like the work being done, like somebody forcing a fumble seems a lot harder than somebody landing on a ball rolling around, and you then get 4 points for that. It's kind of like in PPR where you have to catch the ball.
Yeah, but that ball's squirrely.
Except that they land on the ball. A wobbly pass can be squirrely when it's coming towards you. I mean, but anyhow, I digress.
You're at the bottom of the pile and you're trying to hang on to the ball.
Then the IDP player who caught the ball should get 3 for the interception and 1 for catching it.
Well, what if it doesn't? What if it's a? Wait, say that one more time.
And IDP, if they intercept, you get points for the interception, but they caught it. So we need to start adding 1 point to the interception scoring.
That I would stop playing IDP if that became a thing, and that's strong words coming from me. So we will have no PPR-ness in IDP. Well, too many acronyms already. No, thank you.
Oh man,
we love acronyms. Everyone loves acronyms.
Love it. Colby, talk us, excuse me, through some of these running backs that we've got here. We got about 4 different ones for you guys.
Sheesh. Yeah, there's definitely some running backs this week. I don't know how to feel good about some of them. There's one that I particularly fancy. So, Jorge, I want you to talk about the RB, I'm going to say 1A. I'm sorry, 1B in LA with Blake Corum.
So he is the 1B, the Kyron Williams, but I think he is the 1A when it comes to handcuffs this year. Talking about Blake Corum, sleeper 49% available or rostered, Yahoo 33%, ESPN 22. Weeks 12 through 14, again, the past 3 weeks, I like looking at smaller trends here than whole season, with running backs that have at least 10 rushing attempts. So no fluke plays or plays. He has the RB7 in points per game and half PPR, RB1 in touchdown rate, RB1 and missed tackles forced per attempt. So he's very elusive, and he's very explosive, elusive and explosive as the RB2 and explosive run rate. He is probably, like I said, the most valuable handcuff you could have out there. Not only because obviously if something happens to Kyron Williams, he'll slide in and be that RB1 on that awesome Rams offense, but he's flex viable also. He could be an RB3 or a flex option. So again, Blake Corum, he is probably my number one waiver ad this week. Like, you need whatever fab you have left, for the mother of God, you have to dump it all, I feel, towards Blake Corum.
He already has standalone value, and if anything were to happen to Kyron, it's McVay loves feeding one guy, so Corum would definitely stand to gain there. Before we go into the next running back here, Jorge, I do want to mention at Field Yates on X, does fantasy stuff for ESPN. He did post the fantasy points on that play. Jalen Hurts loses 2 points for the interception, and he does lose 2 more points for fumbling the ball after recovering the other fumble on that play. So it is a negative 4-point play per standard ESPN scoring for Jalen Hurts. So just want to throw that out there. Once again, at Field Yates over on X. But another running back in Miami, Jorge, Devon Achane had a great game, and then he landed on the ball and came out with a rib issue. It doesn't seem like it's anything overly serious, but why is Jalen Wright a name that people should know this week in Fab?
So the good folks over at Rotoballer, their do's and notes, people put out a tweet a few hours ago where they said Devon Achane maybe not practicing at all this week and just taking it easy and then coming back next week. That seems a little sketch. Well, obviously we'll see as the week goes on, but you go back to yesterday, everybody was thinking Ollie Gordon, he's the next guy up. He's the guy that they've been using as the number 2. And then all of a sudden, holy crap, Jalen Wright, former Tennessee Volunteer, goes 24 attempts for 107 yards and a touchdown. Now, granted, you got Ollie Gordon going for 5 rushing attempts, and I believe he also got a touchdown yesterday. But it's pretty clear that, well, let me rephrase that. It was clear yesterday that Jalen Wright is the handcuff or the RB2, at least for this week, for the Miami Dolphins. This is a situation where you are not getting standalone value for Jalen Wright. He is purely an injury away type of player. That being the case, if you are the H-Chan manager, you should probably, and you miss out on Blake Corum, you should put bids in for Jalen Wright. Now, if you are somebody, and I love being spiteful during the fantasy playoffs, this is where this side of me is going to come into play. If I am not the Devon H-Chan manager and I have room on my bench, I am so trying to get Jalen Wright because I want that Devon H-Chan manager to suffer, especially they're in the playoffs. Like, I don't want to give them any room to breathe. Like, strike hard, strike fast, no mercy, go full Cobra Kai on them. Like, I want to make sure that my opponents have zero advantage, whether it's on my starting roster or in bench depth. So I want to take away all the opportunities that my opponents will have in the fantasy playoffs. So yeah, especially like I said, if you could get a starting running back off the waivers this week, like a Blake Corum starting, meaning a flex option, great. If not, ruin it for somebody else and get Jalen Wright.
I like it. Not much more to be said there. Stacey, can you pull up the comment from Jamie? Because I think it's good. If you hit the like button, 100% every time you hit the like, you magically win a championship. So make sure you hit the like button, and I can guarantee you can win a second championship if you also subscribe. So
yes,
like and subscribe. Make sure you do that. So I just want to get the positive vibes there from that because, Stacey, you're going to talk about perhaps the most hated running back in fantasy, especially if someone has Bijan Robinson.
Exactly. And I'm just going to leave that up, that comment from Jamie up so that it just stays for a while. Yeah. So Tyler Algier, do you guys know that, like, despite us talking about him, despite him having 7 rushing touchdowns this year to Bijan's 4, he's only rostered in 46% of leagues. I don't know why it's such a low percentage. I think that's pretty wild, but the Falcons have a really nice schedule over the next 2 weeks. They get the Bucks and the Cards. Both teams are bottom in the league, fantasy points allowed to opposing teams' running backs over the season. Tyler Algier is one of these guys who also I think is a consistent, kind of maybe a lower end, but a flex number 2. You could throw him in your flex spot, if you're kind of in a pinch, maybe, you've got some injuries, things that you're going to have to, kind of plan for. The Falcons can't quit him. They just can't. They won't. He's going to be a free agent after this year. He's probably going to be in a different team. We're not going to have to worry about this after this season. But the Bucks and Cards are tied for giving up the 5th most rushing touchdowns. So you just love the matchups here for him. And especially going into your fantasy playoffs, you've got at least 2 good matchups coming up with this player that you can throw him in for and feel confident that he's going to get you some points. So, just somebody to kind of look at, like, if you're not able to get a Corum, if you're not able to get a Jalen Wright, something like that, this guy could potentially be available in your league. It's on the higher end, a little bit closer to our 50% threshold, but definitely somebody to go in and take a look at. There are a lot worse options out there than Tyler Algier, who is constantly a red zone threat for the Falcons. So, go take a look, see if he's available in your league.
Absolutely. And I'll throw one quick one here for a deep league dart. This is even deeper than the 12-team super flex I was saying when it comes to quarterback. Super deep leagues. Rasheen Ali, Justice Hill's on IR. Keaton Mitchell's day-to-day with a knee injury. If it happens to keep him out, Rasheen Ali would technically be the RB2 to Derrick Henry. I don't think you're even going to start him, but it's a speculative ad at best. And I always like to say it's better on your bench than in someone else's lineup against you, perhaps. So keep that mantra in mind there. So that'll pretty much do it for what we have here at the running back position. So we're going to go to the wide receiver position. Jorge, I'm going to kick it to you because you have someone who's I've just been trying to talk about him on this podcast and no one lets me, but apparently you get to put his name down and get to talk about him. So go right ahead.
But you mentioned this guy being a Texans fan. I can't imagine.
I tried to. People don't let me. They say, no, Colby, punch over there.
It's like, no, I'll put it on the show sheet. Stacy's like, delete. Nope, not talking about him this week.
Yeah.
But you should be talking about Jaden Higgins this week, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Sleeper rostered in 47% of leagues, Yahoo 42, ESPN 38. Weeks 12 through 14 amongst wide receivers with at least 10 targets. He is the wide receiver 14 in fantasy points per route run, 21 in points per game and half PPR, 5 in first down per routes run, and all these metrics are conducive and predictive, rather, to fantasy point performance. He is tied during these past 3 weeks with Nico Collins in first read percentage. So C.J. Stroud or whoever's the quarterback is locking onto him just as much as Nico Collins. Here's why it's important to get him this week. Since week 12, the Arizona Cardinals are 9th in points per game allowed to wide receivers. I hear that's good. Then the following week, Vegas is 21st in points per games allowed to wide receivers. Not as good, trending wrong direction. Speaking of wrong direction, championship week, the Chargers are dead last in fantasy points per allowed to the wide receiver position. So if there was ever a week to maximize your gains on Jaden Higgins, it is this week because it only gets tougher as the season progresses. So he is definitely somebody you should be adding for the short term. And look, volume is volume, opportunity is opportunity, but you don't get a combination of that in terms of that in a weak defense often, and you should really take advantage of it this week.
Yep. Couldn't agree more myself. So if you can't get Jaden Higgins, one guy I'm looking at is Ryan Flournoy. Gosh, his name gives me fits every time I say it. But CeeDee Lamb was concussed, but they did have kind of the mini bye, so there is a chance that CeeDee Lamb could play. But if Lamb were to miss, Flournoy steps into a really good spot. Obviously, 9 of 13 for 115 and a touchdown. The team's last game, and he's played in over half of the snaps in 4 games this season. He has 100 yards or a touchdown in 3 of those 4. So the rapport is there with Dak Prescott. He's trusted him. So if CeeDee Lamb were to miss, we should know more Wednesday. If Lamb DNPs on Wednesday, after basically it would be almost a week since he played. I'm very skeptical he plays Sunday. If he's at least out there in a limited fashion, Flournoy becomes more of a deeper league ad. But if Lamb were to miss this game, Flournoy is going to rock it up, and he's on that Higgins level this week in terms of wide receivers that you should be looking at. And then let's go to another wide receiver here, just because apparently this is now a Homer podcast. So, Stacy, why don't you go ahead and talk about some receiver on your team who didn't do as much as Jaden Higgins or Ryan Flournoy this past week? But go ahead.
To be fair, I did put somebody from the Bears on here as well. So, Jaden Reed. You have to. So Jaden Reed back. He is rostered in 48% of leagues. So again, another guy who's kind of close to our threshold, but still makes it under that 50%. So got to talk about him. Went 4 for 4, 47% snap share or snap percentage when he returned. Tied for the team league. There was a little bit of a 3-way tie there between Watson, Musgrave, and Jaden Reed. Listen, go grab him while you can. I'm kind of shocked that he's still under 50%. But I mean, the passing attack is going through Reed and Watson, from now on. Like, I get it. Luke Musgrave was targeted 4 times. Like, he's not a Tucker Kraft replacement. If there's anybody who's going to be a Tucker Kraft replacement, it's going to be Jaden Reed. I think their skill sets are more closely aligned than pretty much anybody else on that team. And I don't feel like one is going to be, detrimental to the other, right? As far as Watson and Reed go, I think they do different things. They're 2 different style types of receivers. So I think you can start both of these guys, and I get it. They play Denver next week. It's not a great matchup, but there's no way that if he's available in your league, if you are still in play with the playoffs, that he should be unrostered. Like, you should absolutely be snagging him, going on, after we play Denver, this week, then we do get the Bears again in Chicago. So that's going to be a good matchup as well. And I think at that point he will have, kind of gotten his feet back under him. He'll be playing more of the game. So definitely go grab you some Jaden Reed right now.
Jalen Hurts just threw a second interception of the game, and then strip sack Justin Herbert. So he gave it right back on the first or second play after the intercept. So it's Eagles ball again there. But now that you so eloquently hyped up your team, I want to hear you give some praise to the rival Bears.
Okay. Luther Burden, we have talked about him before on the show. He is rostered 37%. That's on Sleeper. Look, guys, I'm going to add him here. I'm going to take the high road, even though he did try to choke out Keyshawn Nixon at the beginning of the game. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know. Maybe
Tone
this is
setter.
I was going to say tone setter. I was going to say maybe that's his jam. I don't know. We don't judge here on the Waiver Wire Watch Party. But I know that it was not appreciated. And, Nixon got the last laugh. So not really worried about that. Now, what I will tell you about Luther Burden is that his target share has jumped from 10% to 15%. I think it's 15.5 actually percent over his last 3 games. 6 targets in each of the 2 last games. And so far, this week, he was on the field 71% of the time, which is his highest this season. Poor Rome Odunze cannot stay healthy. His foot is busted. Plus, you've got that nice rookie wide receiver second half of the season, narrative where they're finally catching on and kind of contributing more to the offense, and you're seeing that with him. You're seeing it with Jaden Higgins as well. Like those things are real. There's a reason that's something that people talk about. They've got the Browns, they've got the Packers again the next 2 weeks. Those are going to be good matchups. I think they just this offense. Look, kudos to Ben Johnson and the Bears for making this a rivalry again, because it hasn't been for the last few years. The Bears have sucked. And they did give us a run for our money a little bit there in the last little bit of that game. They're still kind of playing little brother to the Packers, but I think this is going to be a really fun offense. I think it's clicking a lot sooner than I definitely thought. I thought it might take them a little bit longer to kind of get going on all cylinders, but I think you can tell such a huge difference in the way this team has looked in the past few years, under pretty incompetent leadership. Now with Ben Johnson there at the helm, kind of taking over, it looks like everybody's attitude is different. Body language is different on the sidelines. People look excited to be there. And they've got like a really good future ahead of them, with the guys that they've got in Burden, Odunze, and Loveland. So I think we'll have a lot more fun Bears-Pack games to look forward to.
And there's another team in the end. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jorge.
I just want to clip the last minute of you just bashing the Bears and put it out on social media. Be like, somebody hates Bears really bad, and see how many views we can get on that, because that'd be fantastic.
You just do a hashtag Bears still suck.
There you go. That works too. I was going to ask ChatGPT what I should name it, but that sounds a lot. Yeah. That sounds good.
Still suck.
Okay. I'm sorry, Colby. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, after those two teams in the NFC North, we have a deep league dart. If y'all need wide receiver help and you are anti-Packers or anti-Bears, but maybe you're pro-Lions, there's a deep league dart that Jorge is going to tell you about.
So I'm sure you've heard his name. I'm sure you've over-enunciated his last name, Isaac Tesla. Sleeper 22%, Yahoo 12, ESPN 8, weeks 13 and 14, because those are his big weeks since he's gotten the opportunity. Wide receiver 1 on the Lions in red zone targets. Wide receiver 1 on the Lions in average depth of target. Wide receiver 1 on the Lions in quarterback rating when targeted. Deep league target, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, he ended up playing last week. He stuck it out. Cool. Jamison Williams still doing his thing. Cool. Sam Laporta doing it. Oh, wait, that's right. Sam Laporta is not there. So that kind of sucks, having a big body in the end zone. You know what's really cool about Isaac Tesla? Dude is 6'4", 214 pounds. So, again, big body, end zone, and red zone target. No tight end there. No third option. He is the third option now for the Detroit Lions. So, again, deep league dart. You're not starting him in your 12 or 10 team leagues unless you have multiple roster spots, multiple wide receiver spots, flex spots. But let me tell you, I mean, you could do a lot worse than somebody who's number one in all these metrics, especially the end zone targets, because, again, you want the players who are in scoring opportunities more often than not. So, yeah, Isaac Tesla, deep league target.
And he's a part of a good offense, so I wouldn't blame you there.
And he has amazing hair. You guys seen his hair?
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. Yeah. And he got you 10 points this week. You know what? I left him in my lineup even when they said Amon-Ra was going to play. And he still got you 10 points, which is more than I think a lot of people's flex options gave them. So.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Except I forgot to put Amon-Ra back into my lineup, and I had Tesla. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yikes.
That's what happens when you have so many leagues and you forget one league to set and you don't get all the notifications.
Yeah, I left Aaron Rodgers in a lineup the week that he didn't start. Whoops, for that reason.
Happens to the best of us, folks.
Yeah, it does. I just wanted to address Jamie's comment real quick about not all bears sucking, that he highly enjoyed Cocaine Bear. Do you mean this Cocaine Bear? The one that my koozie says that I partied with?
That's so awesome. It's like he knew.
Yeah, it's like he knew. I got this little gift at the Fantasy Football Expo a couple years ago, actually. It was in someone's trunk.
Somebody's trunk, you say? Interesting.
Yeah, they were doing trunk beers.
Okay.
And that the koozie had to come home with me, so it did.
I like it.
He lives in Florida now.
How about that?
All right, kiddos. Let's take it home with some tight ends. We love a good tight end here. We got a few to talk about tonight. We actually have, I think this is the most at one position that we have tonight. Colby, tell me a little bit about the spawn of Jason Taylor.
Yeah, Mason. Here's the thing. If you can't get the tight end against the Bengals, get the tight end against the Jaguars. They've been bad against the tight ends, kind of in a tier of their own. I talked about this on the Fantasy Spin show, but it's like the Bengals against tight ends are like up here. Jacksonville's like here, and then it's like everybody else is like a little bit farther down. So I like that. And while I have significant concerns about the quarterback play in New York, whether it's Brady freaking Cook or whatever his name was, or Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields, I have some concerns there. But coming out of the bye, he's got a target share of at least 14% in 4 of the 5 games and 23.5% mark this week. So I think you could do far worse than Mason Taylor.
Totally. Jorge, you've got several on here. I'm gonna let you start it off with the Rams, and then hit us up with Isaiah Likely.
Right. So every time I'm watching Red Zone yesterday, and it's going to the Rams Cardinals game, every single time it's Colby Parkinson this, Colby Parkinson that. Over the past 5 games, 4 touchdowns, 4 top 10 tight end finishes in the past 5 games. Finished this past week, or at least currently, as the tight end 9 in week 14. The past 3 weeks, amongst all tight ends, tight end 2 in red zone targets, tight end 8 in end zone targets, tight end 2 in end zone touchdowns, tight end 1 in first downs per route run, tight end 1 in fantasy points per route run, tight end 6 overall in points per game at the tight end position. Rostered, Sleeper 6%, Yahoo 3%, ESPN 6.2%. Here's something that I found that was very cool. He is the number 1 receiving option on the Rams in quarterback rating when targeted. Again, higher than Puka, higher than Devonta Adams. You look at the fantasy points for opportunity. You look at all these efficiency metrics. He's actually closer to Devonta Adams in a lot of metrics, which is kind of crazy. That just goes to show you how much that Matt Stafford likes locking onto him. And obviously he's been producing for fantasy managers. Here's where it gets kind of tricky. You know, again, the sample size of him getting enough snaps is limited, so you don't really know where things are going in terms of, like, does he have more success against man? Does he have a success against zone? Well, zone is kind of what he's been facing the past couple weeks. And you look at his matchups going forward. Week 15, Detroit, number 1 overall in playing man. Okay, question mark. Week 16 versus Seattle, number 8 in terms of playing zone. Okay, well, that's good because he's the tight end 6 in fantasy points per game over the past 3 weeks. Then again, you go to week 17, Atlanta, question mark, because they're 15th in man and 17th in zone. It's like, well, what are you doing? Just pick one. Just pick one so I can make it easier to pick which stats I'm going to look at. So again, since week 10, he is the tight end overall versus zone defenses. So, week 16 versus Seattle, that's going to be a good matchup here. The question mark here is, what happens weeks 15, week 17? Again, is this somebody that I'm rushing out to say this is my starting tight end for the playoffs? Hopefully you have better options than that. If you don't, having a tight end that's associated with a high volume passing offense, last time I checked, doesn't suck. What I will say, though, is take him before somebody else gets him and catches in on his success down the road. Again, like Colby, like you were saying, like I was saying earlier, like, it is important to have good options on your starting roster, and it's equally important to make sure that you take away options from other people by having these good players on your bench during the fantasy playoffs. So Colby Parkinson, he's definitely somebody you should be picking up if you're desperate for tight end or you just want to play keep away from somebody else.
How about Isaiah Likely?
I mean, he's taking on the Bengals, right? I mean, we were talking yesterday. It's like, Dalton Kincaid, do you trust it? Do you trust it? He was banged up all week, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to gut it out. I'm like, I don't like the sound of that. I don't like it when players say, I'm going to gut it out, like openly. Like, don't say it, and it's kind of okay. But if you have to say it out loud and a reporter catches you saying that, that tells me that things probably aren't going to be as fruitful. But we did say that Dawson Knox could have a big game, and Dawson Knox did have a big game, 96 yards receiving against the Bengals. So if Dawson Knox is the guy who did really well for the Bengals, imagine what Isaiah Likely, who put up 100 yards, 105 yards on Sunday. Give me all the Isaiah Likeleys.
That has to be a career day for Dawson Knox.
Mm-hmm, probably, yeah.
Not even this season, but it has to be career day for him, I would think. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I think it would be. Just to keep like going off the Bengals kind of thing, Darren Waller gets that matchup with Miami against the Bengals in Week 16. So I did throw him on here, especially with him having 4 touchdowns first 4 games, and not even Dawson Knox. Dalton Kincaid also had a good game too. Both of those guys ate yesterday, so it is a thing, and Cincinnati is like by far giving up the most points. It's like 23 point something to opposing teams' tight ends. So it's legit. You got some deep league dart throws for Jorge. Jorge's the king of the tight ends tonight.
Oh, let's not coin me the tight end whisperer, because there are a lot other people here that deserve that. But look, Zach Ertz for the Commanders, torn ACL. If that's how his career goes out, no, seriously, if that's how his career goes out, like it's sad. But I'll always remember him diving for that touchdown in the Super Bowl for the Eagles and hoisting up that trophy with confidence. So at least he can go out a champion in the NFL in some capacity. But Ben Sinnott, Kansas State prospect a couple years ago, drafted by the Commanders. We haven't really seen a lot of usage. He's probably the next person up there. Again, over at Kansas State, he was, I believe, the number 2 prospect of the NFL draft class in terms of tight ends, in terms of his receiving options, his efficiency metrics, his basic receiving metrics there at Kansas State. So this is an opportunity, right? And at this point, if you're in a deep league, and you're looking for a dart throw, whether it's Jaden Daniels, if I swear to God, if he doesn't get shut down, I'm going to lose my, what. But if he does end up playing, or even if it's Marcus Mariota, I hope it's Mariota, to be honest with you, because Mariota probably has had more playing snaps and opportunities and practices with Ben Sinnott than he has with Zach Ertz. That's more along the lines of starters for starters, backups with backups type of mentality. So that's where Sinnott comes into play. And then my second tight end, and I know, Colby, you've mentioned him a few times, Gunnar Helm. Let me tell you, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I get there's nothing to write home about as far as the Titans offense as a whole. But when you look at efficiency, we look at fantasy points per outrun, I mean, he's creeping up there. Again, deep leagues. That would be a situation where, you kind of want to see he is one of the bright spots in the receiving game for the Tennessee Titans. Sorry, I just threw up in my mouth just saying that a little bit right there. But it's true. It's true. So definitely in a really deep league, Gunnar Helm could get you a couple of fantasy points here and there. You're not going to knock off, you're not going to put up the 20 points in a matchup, but you really may have an advantage somewhere in a deep league. But Ben Sinnott is definitely the one of the deeper targets that I think you should be paying attention to, just because of his metrics in college, and now he's going to be getting that opportunity.
Jamie wants to know if you were trying to maybe sell on Ben Sinnott right now in Dynasty, what would be a good value for him?
Right now, as we speak, he would probably be a high 4th, low 3rd pick. And you couldn't convince me that he's worth otherwise. Now, if he goes off this week, if he finishes as a top, I'll be odd here, 13 tight end. Okay, now we're talking middle third, but as of right now, I'm not paying more than a high 4th, early 3rd.
Colby, has anything happened in this game besides Jalen Hurts just turning it over?
No, he actually almost had another one here. A.J. Brown did catch a touchdown pass, and then it was nullified by penalty.
Oh.
So that didn't happen. Actually, they're reviewing now if Jalen Hurts fumbled, to be honest. Now they're looking at this. But there has really been nothing since the last time I updated here in terms of stats, though. Hurts, 95 yards, 2 interceptions, and a lost fumble. Goddard's leading the way with 4 for 49. Barkley 13 for 69 on the ground. And then when you go over to the LA side, Herbert 5 for 9, 89 yards and a touchdown. Hampton leads the way on the ground with 24 rushing yards, and Vidal's 60-yard catch is actually the leader for the Chargers and the entire game. That's his lone target overall. So Hampton's got 35 total yards. He has that, obviously, the receiving touchdown. Vidal's got 60 or 77 total yards in this one, and the Eagles actually just kicked the field goal. So it's 10-6 with 48 seconds left.
Woof. It's a barn burner, guys. Everybody, let's real quick do our priority ad of the week. Colby, who out of all these guys do you have to have going into week 15, first round of the playoffs?
There's a really lot of good players that we thought. Jaden Higgins.
Never fails. He's not wrong. It's a good pick. I mean, he is wrong, but I'm going to be biased with my pick here. And Blake Corum, just because of the standalone flex value he brings. But if you're low on receiving options, yeah, Jaden Higgins, he'd probably be my second one.
Jaden Higgins.
Yeah. Can I take Jacoby Brissett, even though he's a smidge over our 50%? Am I allowed to take him?
Well, you're kind of the boss, so I feel like you can do whatever you want.
Are you team Jaden Higgins?
I like Jaden Higgins. No, I absolutely like Jaden Higgins.
You can take Brissett.
No, I just think with I mean, they do have Houston next week, right? The Cardinals are playing at Houston next week, so you don't love that. But, they're going to be playing from behind. I still think, he gets you those garbage time points. Just with him being available, you could potentially stream him because they get Atlanta and then they get Cincinnati in week 17. So you love that if you can kind of hang on if you maybe you're weak at that position. Who knows? Maybe you've been riding Danny Dimes, into the playoffs and now you're without, that I just kind of felt like everybody we talked about has great arguments, but I don't know. Let me go with the QB that is going to get you, 20 plus points every week on average.
Yeah. Attached to currently a top 12 fantasy wide receiver in Michael Wilson. Like that is.
I cannot wait to have all the Michael Wilson versus Marvin Harrison discussions in the offseason. I can't wait.
Oh my God. I have no idea what the Cardinals are going to do this offseason at the quarterback position. So for those who are riding the Brissett bandwagon or trying to get Brissett this week, enjoy it. Just literally enjoy every single moment you have to play him because you may not get it again.
Last question before we get out of here comes from the chat. Is Joshua Patrick Allen going to win back-to-back MVPs? No.
Hot take analysis there. No, he's not going to win back-to-back MVPs. It's very hard for me. I know that people are going to be looking away at skill position players because everything is a quarterback, league. And I get it, the negative cloud that's over the Colts right now. But how do you ignore what Jonathan Taylor's done all season long? That's kind of hard for me to, now he would be my pick for MVP. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor.
Stafford. Stafford for me.
Colby. Who would you
Colby
pick?
The Jaden Higgins.
Yeah. No, Allen has 2 games with 11 or fewer fantasy points. That can't happen. So no.
Yeah.
Do you think if Stafford gets MVP and they go and win the Super Bowl, this is it? If he's tapping out for his career?
I mean, I would if I were him. I'd call him out. What a great way to go out.
Yeah. And it could potentially happen. So.
It definitely could. It definitely could happen. Still on the table. What is not on the table is probably a Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. We're all happy for that. We can all be thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
2 annoying fan bases not going to make the Super Bowl.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Guys,
True.
With that, we are going to head on out here. We have got about 7 seconds until halftime. So go enjoy that Monday night game. Maybe get a drink or something because this is kind of a boring game. But we will be back with you next Monday, ready for Monday Night Football, 8 p.m. I almost said 9 p.m. I don't know why I said that. 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you go give us all a like, a subscribe, a follow if you had a good time. You're watching with us tonight. You can find Colby. He is at Colby R. Conway. Jorge is over at Jorge B. Edwards. I don't have a middle initial in my handle. I am just at Stacy_Perez 83. Guys, we will see you next week. Until then, good luck in the playoffs, everybody.